Hi and welcome to Silver Soul Tarot. Today we are going to do a general reading using the Sacred Forest Oracle and the Jack-o'-lantern Tarot. I completely forgot what it was called. Right, let's crack on, shall we? So first of all, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Jo. If you are a returning viewer, great to see you again. If you are a subscriber, much love to you. Let's crack on, shall we? So yeah, what's the first card out is Transmutation, with the phoenix rising from the fire there. Or well, it's the energy, well, it's the phoenix energy of renewal and rebirth and transmuting some energies. And the second card out is Moonlight, Enchantment and Magic. Okay, so someone could be kind of magically, I mean, I suppose the phoenix is all about magically rising from the ashes, you know, burning down, metaphorically speaking, obviously, what was the previous version of you, your previous life, and seeing what the next version of you is going to be and what it's going to entail for you. And maybe there's some magic here. Howling at the moon, a wolf or a bird of any description could mean something here for someone. Birds do also bring about communication, so there could be some communication. And wolves obviously are leaders, pack leaders and things. So let's see what the messages are, shall we? Right, we have got the Two of Swords. Yeah, maybe you are just at that decision-making point, that crossroads in your life where you're like, do I want to continue on the path of me, my old life, and continue on what is safe and secure? Or do you want to burn it all down, metaphorically speaking, and you know, become someone new and someone different and have a different life, a different outlook on life, a different energy about it? You know, do you want to go and do something completely different? Maybe you'll have a little bit of a midlife crisis. The second card out is the King of Swords. Okay, so now you've got the decision. There's the intellectual side of you that needs to make this decision, but you need to make it from a place of safety, a place of groundedness. Is that the right word? You know, this is not something that's going to be a spontaneous decision. This is you having to gather up all the information and be very cerebral about it. You know, be very intellectual about it. Make sure that you're not going to do yourself a disservice or put yourself in a situation where either you're going to be in danger, although I don't think you would necessarily be in danger, but, you know, done in such a way that you're not going to ruin things. You want to improve your life, not ruin it. Do you know what I mean? We've got the Page of Cups. So something could be happening. Something might pop up, come into your life a little bit extraordinary or in a way that you're not expecting. Like something odd could just sort of pop up that may be a little bit of a catalyst for this, or it could be that bit of magic popping in that actually helps you make the decision. So yeah, I mean, take that as it resonates, but it's definitely something here is going to come in and we got Nine of Swords. So it is there's definitely a lot of thought here. Okay, someone here is very maybe stuck in that sort of, what do I do, which way do I go, do I, you know, make this transition and upheave everything, you know, move house, move jobs, you know, it depends on what it is for you. It could be multiple things. You could be having literally sleepless nights, or you could just be very sort of anxious and overthinking. And be careful of the anxious overthinking. I think you need to think, you need to be very clear, but you need to kind of take that moment of step back, breathe, don't panic. What is it that I need to work on? What is it that I need to metaphorically burn down to the ground? Writing things down might help. You know, a list of pros and cons, or, you know, organising your thoughts in some way comes through with that card specifically. But there's definitely a heavy sense of someone here is very deep in thought about what their next step is, what their next part of their path is, and the Hangman come flipping out. So maybe you need to see something from a different angle. Maybe you will see something from a different angle. Maybe you will get a flash of inspiration. That could be what's coming in. That could be the magic that is the catalyst here for your transmutation, your transformation. The owl in the corner there, I think, just serves as a little reminder to be wise. Okay, be wise. Think about it. Be clear on what your next steps are. There's definitely an energy of really contemplation. We've got 2 cards. The Knight of Swords. Yeah, don't allow the overthinking. You know, the communication could be important here again. Maybe something with social media, but that's just something random. I mean, maybe something comes in via social media. I don't know. That's interesting. Yeah, but I would definitely just kind of be very... It's all about thoughts. This one's all about someone being up in their head and finding some balance to that. Look, up in the corner there, you've got that crow with the balance, the scales there. So there's definitely this sense of like you could think about this for hours and get lost in thought about it. About, you know, about which way you want to go. You know, if you stay, what happens? If you go, what happens? And it kind of... Yeah, you can get very cyclical thinking. Like you've probably been thinking about it for a long time, but you certainly could continue to think about it for a long time. The Knight of Wands is kind of telling you that now's the time to make that decision. I think you've thought about this for long enough, and it's time to get up and get moving. If you want this transmutation, you want this renewal, you want this fresh start, now's the time. Now's the time. The 2 of Wands, yeah, look, make the decision. Okay, the 2 of Wands for me is the now what card. Okay, so make that decision. I think you know which way you need to go. I don't think you're going to be staying in the old. I think you very much want the new. And now what? You're holding that planet, you're holding the world in your hand, and you've made the decision. You've finally chosen which way you're going, and it's now what? Maybe you're stuck on just that decision on its own rather than what could be, you know, what could be on the other side. It's very easy to like look at your life and be like, well, if I stay here, I know how it's going to end up, X, Y, Z. I'm going to be comfortable. It's getting out of your comfort zone, basically. But you don't know what's going to happen. You have to plan with each step that you take. There's no... I mean, yeah, there can be a long end goal, you know, a long-term plan. But actually, the steps from A to Z or A to P, whatever letter you want, can be very jagged, you know. It's very unpredictable. But unpredictable is a good thing. Like I say, being in that comfort zone and predicting what tomorrow's going to be like can be a bit, like actually... can actually be soul destroying, I was going to say. You've got death card, okay? So, yeah, the thing about the death is this death is going to come one way or another. And I mean death as in the transmutation. You know, the old phoenix has to die in order for the new one to rise out the flames. Yeah, your new life is going to cost you your old life. Your new persona is going to cost you your old persona. Your new relationships are going to cost you, in some way, your old relationships. The death card can be quite scary, especially that one. But it's definitely much more about the rebirth. Okay, it's about what comes after that. It's about what the next step is after you've decided and you've grabbed your wand and off you go with the world in your hand, because you're leaving. That's the death part. There is that, leaving that behind, and the new is, and the rebirth is the new. So this is definitely rebirth energy. The 7 of Swords. Okay, deceit. Don't be deceitful about yourself, which I think you can do when you're overthinking. You can lie to yourself that getting out into the world and doing what it is that you want to do and all the scary things that brings with it. It is also about leaving deceit behind. So be very careful not to listen to other people as well. I'm not saying don't get the advice, because whenever I see the Two of Swords, I do think, she's blindfolded. So she's got all the information she needs, and now she needs to just sit with herself and to make that decision. She needs to bring herself out of this, or you, out of this hanged man energy. You need to remove those bindings. No one else can do it for you. But you will always encounter people who have your best interest at heart. I don't think for a moment they're people who dislike you, and I think you would know if you did, and I would hope you wouldn't listen to them. But, people are always going to project their fears onto you unwittingly. What if it doesn't work out? What if X, Y, and Z? What if, it's very easy to think for other people and be concerned for other people, but that you have to understand that that's their fears and not necessarily your fears. I think you just have to trust in the magic with this one and trust in your rebirth. Let's take a couple more. And the Nine of Wands. Yeah, use your wounds, because it's the Nine of Wounds. So use what you've learnt from the past to drive you forward. Wear them as a suit of armour. I would definitely trust this rebirth. The Five of Swords, leave behind other people's thoughts, other people's ideas, learning who you need to just from. Do you know what I mean? It's allowing people to walk away from you. It's picking up after conflict. I mean, it's throwing all these thoughts into a pile, which is where I think you might benefit from organising your thoughts. And, kind of like crossing through, that's actually not a fear of mine. That was something someone said to me, crossing through, throwing the sword away of, well, that is a problem, but at the end of the day, it's something that's out of my control. Cross it through. Do you know what I mean? Just kind of really organise. It is time to be organised and believe in the magic and walk away from any conflicts. Now, fives are halfway through the deck, the suit. So there's that turning point. Walking away from anyone who's going to keep coming at you with their fears. Telling them that no, that's not my concern, that's your concern. Be very vocal, very honest, not necessarily rude, but definitely understand the conflict within yourself and from others. Like I say, writing things down might benefit you from to organise. It's time to organise. Oh, we're going to take that one. I might actually take that one as well. Hold on. Judgment. You're being called to start something new. You're being called to go through this death and this rebirth. You have to leave behind what is just of no longer any use to you. You have to let the old you die away so that the new you can be reborn. You've got 3 cards of that. And the Five of Pentacles. You've got 3 fives. Okay. Feeling left out in the cold, but you've made it to a place of safety. You are now in the embrace of something that can help you. Like I said, the fives are all about the turning point. And maybe you're going through your death at the moment. So we'll leave it there, and we'll just point out 3 fives. You've got 2 twos, but let's wish you all the luck in the world. Say thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.